Hey, I'm Digitrailz, and do you like parkour? Do you like making parkour courses for your friends? Do you like Redstone, and are you excited about 1.17? Well, I have a contraption for you. Let me show you. Here is the Dripleaf plants that are going to be great for parkour courses. Specifically, they were made for parkour courses and building. But I came up with a contraption that makes them into a little bit harder for parkour courses. Basically, what ends up happening is there's a timer that sets a random chance for one of these or multiples of these to be hit by a snowball. Because what ends up happening is if you have a snowball or any projectile, if it hits these, it basically knocks them down. So you can, I'm not the best at parkour, but basically if you, as you're going through this, it basically can get triggered and it will then shoot that down. So it will obstruct your path, or even, as I've been testing this out, it could even, just as you're about to jump, knock the drip leaf off from underneath you, which is actually really funny. But this is ridiculously simple to make. And you can even, if you want to, make a little pathway right here, because you can lock them with redstone and have it so that it ends up just breaking out from underneath people. So as they're walking in a long hallway, it just breaks out. So let me show you how this is made. The first important thing that you can add, and this is customizable, is some form of clock. I'm using an etho hopper clock, but you can basically use whatever you want to use. I'm just using an etho hopper clock because it's really easy to use. But basically, I have it feeding into essentially a T flip-flop, but it's basically just, I have essentially just a repeater that feeds into a dropper that has a non-stackable item and a stackable item that goes up to 64 items, or a full stack item that goes into a comparator. And you want to have it at least 2 pieces further out that goes to a repeater. So essentially, if it's the non-stackable item gets put out, the redstone signal does not reach the repeater. But if the stackable item hits it, it sends out the item. And this is, if you want to go off every time, just essentially you can just skip the step and just have the repeater there. But I kind of just wanted to have it so there's a chance that this entire system went off. And you can basically just if you want to adjust the chances, basically just add more stackable items in here. So I could basically change it into a 1 in 3 chance. But this system is actually going to be repeated throughout this entire system, because this entire system is basically based off of chance. So let's move on to how you build these randomizers, because it's actually going to be really short based off of that. I'm going to go down here where it's a little bit easier to see and it's not covered by dirt. But basically, all you need to do is have a target block next to the redstone line. You'll want to run a redstone line along the entire course. But basically, you have the target block. The target block basically allows the redstone signal to be picked up. You then have a dropper. In the dropper, you can then, again, rig your chances however you want. It could be, you could fill this all up with stackable items and then have a non-stackable item in there to make it a 1 in 8 chance, or in this case, it's a 1 in 3 chance. But you can adjust these chances however you want. It's varied in here, and you can vary it however you want. Then again, you have a hopper feeding in. You have a comparator, and then you have 1 redstone and 2 redstone. You can have a little bit more if you want, and then it feeds right into the target block, and then just above the target block is a dispenser that is just underneath the drip leaf. Basically the drip leaf. And you could basically repeat it. And the reason I built it this way was so that you could literally have this underneath the ground, and it's basically flush with the ground. And that way you can hide your redstone however you want. And you don't have to, the only thing that's exposed is your dispenser. And the parkour course is essentially, or at least this part of the parkour course, is just the dispenser and the drip leaf. And so you can basically build everything else around it. And all you need to do, the last bit, is just fill this with a projectile of your choice. Snowballs are going to be the easiest thing to do because they're easily farmable. And they're easily filled. You could basically just have the only hard thing to hide would be is if you wanted to put a hopper line in here that led up to them. That was the only thing I really just didn't want to figure out. You could just manually fill this up before each one, before each run or every few runs or something like that. But yeah, you just would want to put in some form of hopper line if you wanted to automate this. But you could cover that up with carpet or something if you really wanted to. But yeah, very simple. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm interested to see other types of contraptions that we can end up building with the drip leaf block in the future as the snapshots roll out, especially considering this is a block that ended up being built specifically for parkour. But if you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see more videos like this, please hit that like button. But I'll see you guys in the next video. And remember, when you're in Digitrailz, watch out for digital bears. See you guys next time.